this one is getting interesting. I already did videos of it, and I said it, yeah, it's not going to stop. And oh boy, yeah, now they are shitting bricks. The AAA corpus are actually scared. They are fearing for this. Because at this point, even for the old corruption of the EU, when it comes to bend over some companies, especially these corpus don't care much about AAA. They don't even pay attention after that. They are putting censorship when they demand it. But when it comes to the all stupid practices like the light service scheme, yeah, they're going to put the spoon and oh yeah, in that play, yeah, they're going to try to take the food out of it by meddling some regulations that is just going to cripple them. And at this point, like I said, yeah, even if you're someone that don't like government intervention, even like myself, I'm not into that shit. Still, this one is necessary because it's finally putting an evil out of its misery. Because the host has been taken and is just walking cancer that needs to be shut down. Not only because we have seen the DRM shit show, the piracy crackdowns, well, crowdowns, because these corpus know full well that they cannot compete with the past. The next thing they create cannot compete. And it has been shown. All the three corpus have shown it already, even Nintendo with the allegedly Mario Kart Deluxe. They know they don't have games. They they are rethinking that yeah we fuck up, but we don't want them to be those consumers to walk away from us. So we are going to attack them by yeah not making them any way possible to play their game even after we pull it out support. And this is what they have been trying to do with light services. Even single player games are live services nowadays because all of the DRM shit it has outside like the Nuvo and inside the game with those verifications through their own servers to say, oh, we need to make sure you have the game. Oh, I hope you enable the recollection data because we want to recollect your data when you are playing a single player game. Yeah, that's Crapcom for one example. And this movement, Stop Killing Games, is reaching right now to the point that now the Vice President of the European Parliament just came out in support of Stop Killing Games. So it's going to be a fight at this point because they have to lobbies. And yeah, I also have to take in consideration, let's not fool ourselves, the EU is a fucking corrupt organization for the most part in many aspects of life itself. And there is this lobby from all of the scum from AAA that really wants you to ignore this one and well draw all of these politicians with wars drowning in a sea of buzzwords only because yeah they're serving the purpose, they are serving their master, which is AAA, to preserve their fucking corrupt monetization scheme, while any single one of us, even if we spent something from them in the past, even like a decade ago, like the crew, because it's the one that triggered all of this cataclysm. That yeah, I can pay something way later, or even before and years later. If I try to get them, suddenly when the fucking corporation say, ah, yeah, we are pulling support out of it, and we are not even adding some way so you could play the game offline. Some companies, those, for the most part, those fuckers do not want to do that, and they end up doing it, like Bogislav and EA. So, yeah, that's why they fear this one, because they're going to force this. This movement is consistent in what he's saying. Oh, so you are already pulling out support. Well, give me full refund. Oh, you don't want to do that? Well, simple as that. Just add that offline mode. Oh, you don't want to add of that offline mode? Yeah, you get fucked. We are going to fuck you up the ass with this one. Yeah, with this movement. If it passes and if becomes a reality, Triple A, if they fail, they're not going to find a way to fight this one back. Because at the end of the day, even for while they're still here, they are going to be forced to add all of those games that shut it down to have a playable mode. Because even as much as they try like Boogie Slow updating their LEA to be more anti-consumer than they already are, yeah, when it comes to the law, when they can be sued, when the law it can become so litigious against these corporations, that's what they fear because if they do put legislations and some regulations out there can be exploited by the consumer against this corpus, and even if the consumer can, you could say is malicious. I want to fuck up this company. Yeah, you know what? No one is going to defend it at this point. We are sick and tired of seeing them getting away with their dog shit. So you have this Nikus Stefanuta, well, the account on Facebook. Sono Turio Dominicera you. Yeah, it's French. Yeah, the robot. So let me see. Translated, yeah. I stand with the people who started this citizen initiative. I stand and I will continue to help them. Again, one soul belongs to the customer, not the company. Exactly. They say, oh, but you're renting a license. Okay, then if you are at one point you'll make it impossible. Like, yeah, Steam is not is not out of this also because while they are selling you licenses, yeah, look at all the games that they haven't been disclosed for the most part that it forces you to do extra stuff to make them work or because of pulling out the servers, trying to play it normally with all of those verification check marks don't work properly, or when they decide to pull out support from certain operative systems like yeah like how they dropped support for 32 bits hardware and those customers that for the longest time they didn't have problems still playing it with their old hardware and they're still doing it because they have games they still enjoy that they were good and probably are still yeah they're still good compared to the newest slop. Yeah, they couldn't get it anymore to play normally. They don't want to update the hardware. There is no reason to even stick it to them if they're selling the 7Cs because at the end of the day, with piracy, they it's going to be always a service issue, and we are seeing that anyone got sick and tired of this. Even the normies are getting sick and tired of this. Because when it's something obvious that yeah, it's the most of the game is can be played offline, but they forced an online component, so this is the only way to enjoy it. Yeah, this corporation deserves some more than a few pegs. They need to a full sodomy on any one of those corpus assets. And they, like I said, this is like the little stone that you keep rolling by on the snow mountain and it's turning into a giant snowball. And oh well, I'm enjoying seeing this one because we are from the next weeks what we are going to see is one of the most lamest excuses, all of the most anti-consumer practices that even if you say, well, you just say that there is not going to be more of what it already is. And I going to tell you that's when you are wrong because that's the only thing they improve how to fuck the consumer up the ass. That's the only thing they have improved all over the last decade. And you know, I someone that I've enjoyed in the past, seeing when one game could play in the version 1.0 or even better when you didn't even need it to install something, just by the home disk drive. you could play the entire game and enjoy its fullness. Yeah, I know those days are not coming back with physical media, but we still have alternatives. And the seven seas, which is the best way of preservation. Well, let's see how this one goes. So far, it's heading in the way that yeah, we want this corpus to bend over. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and please take care.